Okay, so you've heard about custom audiences. I'm sure you've heard about lookalike audiences. They seem like really big buzzwords these days, and I'm going to break it down for you, show you what they are and how you create them. So when you are an ads manager, what I'm going to have you do is click on down to audiences. Yours might also be hovering over here under assets. Go ahead and click on audiences, and then what we're going to do is we're first going to get started with custom audiences. Now to create a custom audience, click on Create Audience, Custom Audience, and then you are going to see a number of different options pop up here. We can create a custom audience based on those who have visited our website, customer file, so that's people whose email address we have, so that's uploading an email list. You can do it from those who have filled out lead forms or those who have attended events of yours, those who follow your Facebook page or follow you on Instagram. There are so many different options here. I encourage you to hover over them, and you can see over here on the right-hand side, Facebook gives you a little definition of what each of these are. So let's say you wanted to create an audience based on people who have engaged with you online. So you can do it for website traffic or people who engage with you on Instagram. Let's just take Instagram, for example. And so what we're going to do is include anybody who has engaged with our business within the last, and then you get to select the days. I typically like to go a little bit smaller, like around 60 days, because those are people who have recently been engaging with me. So what you can do is go ahead and name this Instagram. You can call it Instagram engagers within the last 60 days. And so now what you have here when you go ahead and click create audience is you have an audience of people who have interacted with you. These are what we consider to be warm leads. They're warm to your business. They know your offerings, what you're about. That's a really nice audience to send ads to. Now you can do the exact same thing for those who interact with you on Facebook. You can do the exact same thing for those who have been to your website. You can even do like specific pages on your website if there are certain pages that are important to you. And then customer file, this is how we upload an email list. If you have over 200 people, you can upload your email list and click on this middle option here. Go ahead, you select the origin. So typically it's coming directly from the customers, at least my email list for my clients are. You upload your file, name it, and it will be created. Now I've already created this type of audience right here, so I'm not going to create it again. I also did my engagers audiences already. So that's how we create engagement audiences. These are great audiences for retargeting. And then we can also create lookalikes. So with lookalikes, what we're going to be doing here is selecting an existing audience or data source. So this means you've got to create those those custom audiences already. So maybe those who engaged with you online or whatever it may be. So I created this Instagram engagement audience. Let's see here. It's going to pop up under other sources. So I created this one for those who interacted with me on Instagram. I'll click United States. I can do the number of audiences that I want. So typically, I like to create a few of these and split test them for my clients because of the fact that when you have enough budget to be able to play around with it, that's where you have the ability to really make sure that you're getting your best bang for your buck. Because if you only, let's say you don't have a whole lot of money to test out, you can just start with one, do a 0 to 1%. But I typically see the greatest return for my clients when I can test out multiple. You can actually drag this and make them bigger here. You can see them growing. I see the best return for people when I can go ahead and actually try out multiple audiences. So go ahead, click create audience, and then you are all set. So that was just a really brief tutorial for you on how it is that we create custom audiences and how we create lookalike audiences. Like I mentioned, split test, because you're going to be surprised that sometimes the audiences that you think are going to work best aren't always the ones that do.